Welcome to the Next Level Podcast with Brian Daniels. Ooh, boom shakalaka.
Hey there, Domaniacs. Welcome to another episode of the Next Level Podcast. I am Josh Thundershaver, and with me is one of my co-hosting cohorts, as we like to say. I don't know, Brian always comes up with different ways to say everybody. I think co-hosting cohorts will be my fun one. But I'm here with Big BS Bryce Schumacher. How's it going, Bryce?
Doing well. What's happening, Domaniacs? Glad to be back for another episode of The Next Level.
The Next Level.
That's right.
And that I like it when we can specifically do video game episodes, which this kind of is, because that's where the next level comes from. It's
that name is relative to
synonymous with games,
yeah.
Not exclusive. You can be stepping up your sports game to the next level. That's something that we seldom talk about. I think we talked about the phenomenon was the Super Bowl, but we try to do sports sometimes too. Because as of the time of this recording, yours and Brian's favorite NBA team, the Indiana Pacers, they're going to the NBA Finals this year, correct?
That's right. They just finished up Game 6 against the Knicks here in town, and
nice.
We are heading to the finals, which is very exciting for the first time in 25 years, since 2000.
25 years. Wow, man. I was gonna say, because I'm not a big basketball fan. I don't follow the NBA very well, but I used to actually work at the field house.
That's right.
And I knew that the Pacers never got there while I was working there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
exciting.
good. Yeah, it's good. It's good for the city.
Yeah.
As well.
We got Shaq in town, and all that good stuff that comes along with it.
Indianapolis is always just on the cusp of being like one of those bigger cities that gets recognized on a regular basis.
Right.
It's not New York, it's not Los Angeles, Houston, anything like that, but
Miami,
Chicago, I always feel like we're Chicago's, little sister.
A little trickle, trickle down. Hills have
all
eyes.
the hand-me-downs and aren't as pretty. Thanks, Chicago. But it's okay, because Indianapolis, the Pacers are doing. I have no idea. I'm not going to say they're going to do it this year. But I know you guys were talking about it, so I wanted to give that a little shout out. Also, the same date that we are recording this, so it's hella not a spoiler by now. In fact, next week's episode will be more specifically about it. But man, holy shit! I just finished watching this week's Doctor Who.
Nice.
And not to lead the episode with a cliffhanger for next week, but it kind of sucks going into this episode with everything I had prepared, because we had to push it back in the week, and we're recording later than we normally do. But me and Andrew are recording this in 2-3 days from now, and I am ready to go. I just saw it, and let me tell you, I hope you've seen it by now. I know I'm not talking to you specifically, Bryce. I'm talking to the average that does watch Doctor Who, because the ending of this episode made me go from straight up bawling, Rachel and I were just holding each other's hand and bawling, sitting there watching it.
Wow.
And then straight up, what the fuck just happened? Bewilderment, because it's oh my God, this is so sad. And what? Holy shit, what?
It just jerks the wheel on you.
Oh my God, yeah. So if you want to know what's up with that, definitely come back next week for next week's episode, because I will be picking that apart. And the fact that it's me and Andrew, you're gonna have two completely different. He's got he grew up watching Doctor Who in England, and I actually grew up watching Doctor Who in America. So our last Doctor Who episode was 2.5 hours, and Brian got fucking mad. So let's see what happens next week. But this week we are talking about video game book adaptations that we want to see made into TVs and movies. There's a lot of adapting going on. There has been going on, but a big ticket
they've been good lately too.
Yeah, they've been great, which is crazy. It was everybody revolted with the Sonic movie, and they're like, okay, maybe we should make it like the fans want.
Right. With the teeth.
It's been good. I didn't see the third Sonic, and I saw okay. And I saw the first couple episodes of the Knuckles show, and then just kind of forgot what I was doing and did other shit. But that's all been good.
Yeah.
Mario was good. Uh, I
Knuckles
had
is good.
no. What was
Yeah, Knuckles was good. It's a good, like,
Knuckles? Yeah.
especially if you're watching the first two Sonics,
Hmm.
it's a good, because if you watch Sonic 3, you'll see things from Knuckles. You know what I mean?
Oh, good.
You'll
I
be
love it
like,
when they actually acknowledge it later on.
yeah. So you definitely want to see Knuckles before
Mhm.
Sonic 3.
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
like 1 and 2, you're gonna like them all because it's just the same stuff, just
Oh,
more of
yeah.
the good stuff.
They bottled lightning with that for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I liked Mario. That was that
Oh yeah.
was that was one that I watched with my nephews, and I was like, yeah, I grew up with the Mario movie, and that movie fucking blew, but I loved it because of what it was. So, and then Mario was actually good.
Right.
Um,
We've
I
come a
didn't
long
see
way.
Minecraft,
I
but
haven't
I
seen
had the
that yet either.
Well, I had the McDonald's chicken nugget sauce, and that was fucking delicious.
Nice.
So,
I
at the very least,
mean, I guess everybody's like throwing their popcorn when the chicken jockey shows up or whatever it's
yeah,
called.
theaters had to start warning people to not do that. It's like, I like rambunctiousness. I don't know. There was a bunch of us with lightsabers when we went and saw the original episode 3.
Yeah,
Um,
they
I'm
just got
talking
tired
like,
of cleaning up popcorn.
oh yeah, dude, me and my high school buddies, we were a different breed back then. Throwing popcorn, I don't know how I feel about that, but we know how to have fun in public. I don't know. Just don't make it somebody else's problem, and it's not a big deal.
Right.
Um, but Last of Us is on TV right now, and that's kind of
Hmm.
what inspired this episode. Was
Yeah, their season finale just
Yeah,
aired.
just aired, and just the roller coaster of the fan reactions to everything.
Yeah.
Because as
The
someone who
memes,
doesn't, well,
the
as someone
dad
who doesn't
memes.
watch this show and have not played the game, and if that's a
Right.
shock to you, then you've not listened to this, podcast before, because Brian always gives me hell for never playing The Last of Us, or watching the
Well,
show.
yeah, because you have a PlayStation. You're primarily a
I am,
PlayStation player,
I
and
am,
it's
yeah.
not on Xbox. And so
Mhm.
I've never played it, but I've
Oh,
watched
you've
every
never played it?
episode.
Okay. Yeah, see, and I've neither watched nor played, but everyone assures me that this is the pop culture phenomena going on right now, and I'm like, bro, Disney is making Doctor Who episodes with Doctor Who money, and you're telling me that's what you're? No, sorry, next week, but but also I don't know. Rachel and I just kind of get into like series long binge watches.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, well, because of the absolute depth and length, the girth that is X Files. It took us a really long time to get through
Oh
that, because
man,
we would
I love
stop,
X-Files.
and then like when we did the 31 for 31 in October, that's a full stop on anything that we're watching that's not the night's movie, because I would get home from work, we'd watch a movie.
Right.
Um,
Nice.
there's with our schedule, there's literally only one day a week that we have where we're both off of work, and we're not going to spend that, I don't know, you just watching stuff. But
Right.
so during the month of October, we full stop what we're doing. And then I'm not gonna lie, after October, I don't watch anything horror. I have to go on a cleanse. This year, actually, I didn't. This year, because the 13 for 13, I know I'm going off topic, but this year the 13 for
Right.
13 was completely curated by me. I didn't go with anybody
Nice.
else's stencil or anything. I just picked movies, and then like I let everybody else pick a movie, and it felt really fun. So I didn't have to go on that cleanse. But usually in November, I don't watch anything even slightly horror related, because I have a whole slew of Christmas horror movies that I watch too. But to get
Nice.
back on track, um, it took us forever to get through X Files. So right now we're
That
at
was the
Twin
first
Peaks.
okay, so real quick about X-Files.
Yeah,
When I got Netflix,
fucking love
the
X
very
Files.
first time I got Netflix,
Mhm.
that was what I binged. The first thing I turned on, I was like,
Hell
I'm
yeah,
watching every X-Files episode. And that was all I did until I watched them all. And that was the first thing I ever did on Netflix. I still remember it. You know what
that's what's up.
I
Well, to
mean?
keep X Files current to what we're talking about, the topic of today's episode, did you know that there was a PlayStation? Um, Fuck, I don't remember if it's for PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2, and I feel like if I tell you which one specifically, I'm going to pick the wrong one. So I'm just going to say ambiguously it was for either the PlayStation 1 or 2,
Right.
and you can tell me how wrong I am in the comments, listeners. But it was based off of the Resident Evil, so that's why I want to say it was PlayStation 1. Based off of the Resident Evil engine. And
So, oh, they made an X-Files game on
yeah, for
PlayStation.
the PlayStation. Yeah.
I remember I played one on PC. I had a PC X-Files game, and it was like a double disc game, and it was mostly
Hmm.
like real life cinematics. You know what I mean, with Mulder and Scully,
Okay.
and I can't remember what it was called, but it was a big package. I remember that, and I was like,
Well, that's
I,
excellent.
I was just such a big X-Files fan. I was like, I will buy everything X-Files that is in front of me.
Hmm. No, that's great. I fucking love X-Files. And I finally got Rachel into it too. But yeah, there were those games. And then we just finished season 2 of Twin Peaks.
Oh yeah,
So for everybody keeping up with my personal slog, before, before we get back to topic, now we just have to watch Fire Walk with Me and then The Return. And then Rachel's like, so then what do we watch next?
see, I
So
never
I
did
don't know.
watch Fire Walk with Me. I think because I watched all Twin
Mm,
Peaks episodes,
yeah, you told me you were watching it. Yeah.
but I didn't watch any of the movies. I forgot about that. I
Oh
need
yeah,
to get
Fire
that.
Walk with Me. Yeah, they made
I
it
gotta find that.
after the series ended, and it fills in a lot of plots. It's pretty much what happens before the first episode.
Okay,
Um, but I don't really know if there's a Twin Peaks game. Let's get a Twin Peaks game going in memory of David Lynch. I
right
know that Kyle
there.
MacLachlan will
Where's
come
that
back.
at? We're on adaptations. Let's get a
Mhm.
Twin Peaks
Yeah,
adaptation.
let's get a fucking Twin Peaks game. It wouldn't be as who killed Laura Palmer, but you'd have to figure
How
something out.
how did she get killed?
Hashtag where is Dale Cooper? That's what Fire Walk with Me is, my guy. Watch it.
I need
Um,
to.
mhm.
I
I'll
totally
have to give
forgot
you
about
my
that.
my.
After I finished the series, I was like, oh, that's it. That's everything. But I totally forgot until you said that there was a movie.
Uh, looking right in front of me, first thing I can think of, because I didn't really make a list. I was just kind of thinking of things. But I didn't want to like spend the whole time topping on one thing. But they're making a Last Ronin video game. I keep hearing it from multiple sources that it's going to be fucking sick.
From
Um,
like the Ninja Turtles, right?
yes, dude.
Yeah, yeah. I've been hearing about that for at
Hmm.
least 2 years now.
Right.
And it's gotten a lot of good hype around it. It's like
Hmm.
dark, moody, fucking serious, high action. And yeah, I mean,
Last
I'm
Ronin got
hyped
me
for it.
going back to comic shops again. Like,
Nice.
yeah, because for a while I was just ordering my comics and getting them delivered through me in the mail, and I even tried doing digital comics for a while, and it's just not the same.
It's not the same.
And
You got to feel the
last,
page.
oh yeah,
You got
and
to
Last
smell the
Ronin
book.
at what fucking $9 an issue got me physically going into the comic shop and being like, hey, yeah, I'm alive. Yeah, I'll buy comic books again. And then now it's kind of a thing
Right.
that
Yeah.
I
I mean, it's
love
good
going.
to
And
keep,
mhm.
support those kind of stores
Oh,
because
especially your local comic shops. Yeah.
that's, I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know, it's just important to the scene, to
Yeah.
everything involved, the artists.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Well, because like right now I'm trying to sort through a bunch of comics and sell them, and that's where I'm getting a lot of these ideas for adaptations. Um,
nice.
and I was looking over to my left, I've got this whole big stack of Firefly Serenity comics. And that
Okay.
reminds me, at one point in time in development was an MMO based on the verse of Firefly and Serenity. Um, and it was just supposed to be just an MMO game where you did shit. I don't know if they were gonna have like a goal to it, but you basically had to you didn't just start with anything. You had to build up enough money to get your own ship, so you'd have to work on other people's ships. And there
Right.
were ways that you could spend real life money to make yourself rich in the game, and that was part of a game mechanic or whatever,
Of course. Yeah.
as I understood it. Yeah. So I've got somewhere in my vast piles of shit an unscratched off game token code for this Firefly MMO that never came to be, for one
Okay.
free ship where I could literally just start the game with my own ship and the ability to get a crew from the get-go. Um, how ridiculously valuable that would be
Right.
if
Hell
that
yeah.
game actually came out. But yeah, that came in a loot crate or something of all things.
Yeah. So
I would play the shit out of that game.
hell yeah. I mean, when I think about like video game adaptations, obviously there's a lot of good ones coming out
Mhm.
nowadays, but there's still a lot left that I want to see.
Oh yeah.
And
Like you ever be watching a movie and it's like, I would love to play this as a game.
yeah, but
Mhm.
also, there's many games I would love to see as a movie or a TV series
Oh yeah.
because like things are so cinematic and so
Mhm.
well written now and so well orchestrated, musically and sound wise.
Mhm.
Um, one of the top ones that I know everybody wants to see is a Red Dead Redemption film,
Rude Dude Attitude, the film.
a
Gotcha.
film, a film version or a TV series, even almost like Fallout,
I would
so
love
of
a
Red Dead
TV,
Redemption.
a Red Dead TV series. Oh, try
Because
not to get too
we've
erotic
already,
on that, but
dude, we've already got two games that are humongous games. I mean,
masterpieces.
yeah, like
Fucking
that,
Matt.
just those two games alone could be spread out to 4 seasons. And
Oh
then
yeah.
imagine what they could do with all the other characters that never really got their time to shine in the game,
The
where they had
potential
to,
prequel for doing Red Dead Revolver, because
right.
that's in the timeline too.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Red Dead Revolver. I forgot. I never played that
Yeah.
one,
Yeah,
but
Red Dead 2 is actually the third game in the series.
yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
But in particular, Red Dead Redemption has, been a massive success
Mm.
and just cinematically, soundtrack writing, acting, all of it, everything that goes into making a big Hollywood production
Mm.
is already there in the game. So, I mean, that's at the top of my list. Like, I would love to
Yeah.
see a like, and you don't see many Westerns being made these days.
Mm.
And when you do, they're not that good because it's just like an old guy trying to relive his glory days.
Mm.
But, like if they could find a way to make it gritty and dirty and trippy and like Rockstar likes to do, you know what I mean? If you can keep it
Yeah. There's
true,
a lot of like real fucking so there's some crazy things in Red Dead 2. And I know there's a lot of like top 10 things you didn't know that talks about it and stuff. But like,
right?
let's hold on for a second and talk about the fact that there is a fucking series of side quests where you help a time traveler figure out how to pin
Right.
like,
Yeah.
oh,
Dude,
that one's crazy.
when you really,
Um,
get into the depths of the game, like there's so much that can be explored in
there's
a TV series.
oh yeah, there's that vampire, there's an alien cult. Several times you can come across a UFO. The
Yeah.
Sasquatches, we eat berries. Oh man, you ate that baby. That's fucked up. We wouldn't do that. That's an early mission in the game, dude. Um, no, I think a Red Dead show would be great. Couldn't be a movie. It would have to be a fucking show.
Yeah, a movie would be too
Hmm.
long, too drawn out. Wouldn't get, yeah, you just need an hour at a time.
Yeah, I think the movie would have to be like a part of the show, either like
This would be a 3 hour movie at least, three,
yeah,
four.
some
And
sort of
people are
like
over
opening
that.
movie
Like,
special of yeah, exactly. It would have to be like a hey, this is the first part, like the first episode of the series is like 2 hours long just because it's the first episode, or like the finale got wrapped up in a movie or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
That's
And
the
that's
only way
fine.
that there
Give
could
me
be a
two
Red
hours
Dead
on the
movie.
first,
Yeah.
give me 2 hours on the first episode, set it up well, get me interested, get me wanting more. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Build multiple, character lines. So I have multiple stories to be interested in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, for sure. Because there's multiple things going on in that game. So many fucking side quests that you can just start,
Right.
fuck off, come back 2 months later and do it. In fact, the game is different if you like start something as Arthur and come back and finish it as John. There are some things you can do that.
Could you
And
imagine the Easter eggs?
there's yeah. No,
Like
it's
imagine,
ridiculous.
and then in this series, I already see it.
Mhm.
Oh, now it's winter time, and it just zooms in on the nuts of the horse shriveling. Like you're like, oh, it's just like the game.
Just like the game. Yeah. That's funny as fuck. um One of my personal favorites, this isn't a game, but they're making another Masters of the Universe movie. There's been a lot of like leaked pics from the set of that.
Nice. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
well,
No?
as someone like on the surface, it looks good as fuck. But then I started thinking about the minutia of the pictures. I'm like, hold on. Prince Adam is running around with Tila with the Sword of Power. So you're telling me that Tila has to know that Prince Adam is He-Man? Fuck, the whole thing's ruined, you know? And that's just me being a fucking nerd about it. But on the surface, those pictures do look really cool. It looks like someone actually understands, like, hey, stop fucking around with the design. The design was made by the people who created the shit. That's how it needs to
Right.
look in the movie. And that's kind of how this looks. So I'm kind of hyped. I'm low key hyped.
They're the only
Um,
ones that have the choice. You know what I
mhm,
mean? They're the ones that made it. So they get the
yeah,
choice of how it looks, how it plays, how it sounds, whatever.
yeah. But I'm kind of excited for that. Um,
Hell yeah.
I'm ready to see a new Masters of the Universe movie. There's a lot of TV shows and stuff, but that's what that is. But there's a live action movie being made. I still consider that an adaptation. But where's the game? Where is
Right.
the He-Man fucking up Skeletor's minions game?
Right.
I
There's
would rather
no
be
true
Skeletor, but
to the series game like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's that Toy Soldiers game that got, delisted, unspected. If you've got any updates on the game, you can't even play it because they disabled the start button. I recently bought a disc copy for the PS4, and I'm going to try something to play it, but
Oh, okay. And
you
they
could run
disabled
around
the
as a
start
toy
button,
He-Man. Yeah, they disabled the press any button to start game. That's how they made it so you couldn't play their game anymore, even if you still had it.
even if you bought it. Even if you went and bought it still, like you did,
Diabolical
right?
as fuck. They didn't
Wow.
announce it. They ignored it when I sent them emails because
Yeah. Well, the whole office is dissolved, I'm sure, by now.
it's Ubisoft. It is a fucking Ubisoft game.
Oh, right.
Yes, dude. Um, I was getting ready to stream this specific game I'm talking about. It was like a random December morning, and it was like a getting ready for Christmas theme. And I was sitting here in my robe, and I had a cup of coffee, and
Ready to go.
like people had started joining the stream, and I'm like, all right, yeah, we're gonna play this super fun toy game. And then we couldn't play it. I spent like 30 minutes just
Mm.
fucking just I mean, I
Trying
don't
to
know
get
if
it
you've ever
going.
heard me just go on a rant about how much something sucks before when I'm mad about it, but Twitch caught me that day. Twitch caught me going on a rant that honestly I'm surprised didn't get us more followers. Man, I was
Right.
on
No,
one.
I've heard some rants, probably not as big as the
Yeah.
one let out that day, but
Oh,
I've
I was
definitely heard some
so mad
rants.
because like I kept the stream going on the, like disabled press start, and I'm like sending them an email. I'm like, Dear Ubisoft, you are the ones who are the ball lickers. And I just went on the whole tirade on stream.
Yeah,
But that one
nice.
pissed me off. Um, that was a game that I miss dearly.
Right. Yeah.
I'm
That's
trying. I'm
unfortunate.
I'm looking
I
around my
hate
room trying
I
to get some ideas because the one big one I want to save for the end of the episode. I don't remember. I didn't set an alarm. I don't remember what time we started recording. So I'm not sure how long we've been doing it, but I do want to save one for the end, and it's a book I've been reading.
yeah. And you know, something that I had on my list, like it's something I would that that is actually in the works now, but
Mhm.
we're finally getting to see. It's, it was Gears of War. I know
Oh
you're
yeah,
not an Xbox player, so you
no,
might
an
not
ex
have
of mine was
played Gears
really
of
big
War,
into it. Yeah,
but
it's got a good
it is
story.
coming. From what I hear, it's coming to PlayStation soon. As you know, Xbox is spreading their games around.
Yep, yep.
So Gears of War is a franchise that's going to be going over there, and they're also in development for a movie right now.
Okay.
So, and that's one I've hoped for a long time. Like I always was a big fan of Gears of War when it came out. It was a huge, and I was on Xbox, so it's like you play
Yeah,
your big IPs, your exclusives.
I feel
But
like it took Halo's place for a while. Like it just tagged out Halo for a little bit for being that series on the Xbox,
yeah,
just
I
from
mean
an
it
outsider
it
perspective.
was a
Yeah,
little more mature level of gaming. You know what I mean? It
yeah,
was bloodier, it was gorier, it
yeah.
was faster paced,
Mhm.
and I loved it. And the chainsaw bayonet, like you
Sick. That is an awesome design.
Just an awesome, like, how did we
Hmm.
not come up with that sooner? Horror
Yeah,
movie or something. You know what I mean?
dude.
Like, so like that combination of the two, I was like, okay, I have to play this game now. And it's so satisfying
Mm,
chainsawing somebody, especially when you come against somebody and you both clash and you have to like button press, to
mm,
see who's gonna mash the buttons faster to win the sword fight. So you get this little mini sword fight with chainsaw gun, and
yeah.
then you split your enemy in half. Like it's very satisfying.
Oh yeah.
So I always wanted to see a Gears of War adaptation, and we're getting to see it soon.
I don't think
Oh,
you're alone. Yeah.
but it's been a long time coming. So like if we had done this podcast 6 months ago, we might not have known about it yet, like being in the works. But
Oh yeah.
it's just brutal action. It's loud, it's explosive, it's violent, it's gory. There's chunks and blood flying everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So it
Now,
would it would make a great movie. Just and I mean, everybody looks like a football player. You know what I mean? In the game, they're all huge, broad, like wrestling looking kind of guys. You know what I mean? They all look like Brock Lesnar. They're all built like him. You know what I mean?
yeah, they're all big old dudes. So
Yeah,
yeah, should be
it's
like a
high
WWE
impact.
production. Yeah,
Right, right. Yeah,
like
put Marcus
Longest Yard had
Phoenix
a
or
game.
somebody
Yeah.
in WWE 2K25. Put Marcus Phoenix in there as a playable character. Or
Dude, that would be
yeah.
fucking sick.
Somebody's probably made them, I'm sure, on the
I'm
custom.
sure he's a down. Fuck, I'm a download character. Actually, not
Right.
to sidetrack, but did you know that I am a downloadable character on WWE 2K25, and you can find him via a bunch of marks
Nice,
keyword
dude.
in the WWE shop.
What's the
So,
name of your character?
Josh
Josh
Thunder
Thunder.
Schaefer, yeah,
Nice, just the
yeah.
right, yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, in last year's game, it was like a throwback. It was 2010 me, so it was a younger me.
So did somebody just custom make that and post it?
Me,
Is that how it go? Oh, you
me.
did. Okay.
Yeah, no, it's there's the 2K has this whole thing where you can upload pictures of yourself, and
People can
um,
download them,
yep.
your character or whatever. Nice.
Well, I went through the meticulous work of taking multiple pictures of all of my actual ring gear from back in the day
Hmm.
and uploading that into the game and basically like pasting it over
Oh
the
yeah.
stuff and using it as a skin. So I had to mold the character, then paste the skins on it. But yeah, I made my own ring gear in the game. Um, did like moves that I would do in that situation and stuff like that. And what's awesome is all of the elements are there to make me like there's you can announce from Lafayette, Indiana, and it says
Right,
Thunder,
right.
which is my name and all that stuff. So it was just
Yeah.
really easy to slap it all together.
Nice.
Um, so yeah, 2K24 is 2010 throwback me, 2K25 full on. I've got a bunch of marks, uh, shirt and hat branded attire. It's
Oh yeah.
it is officially licensed by us, if you will. There's no money for it, so I don't know if it has to be licensed, but I made it. It's hashtag bunch of marks. Go look it up. Even though we don't talk about wrestling on this show, if Brian didn't edit that last part out, it would be great if he did, and then it just cuts from you talking about what were you talking about just before
Oh, the
Gears of War, and it cuts from you
yeah,
cutting
yeah,
to
Gears
Gears
of
of War
War.
and be like, oh man, I hope Brian didn't edit that out. Anyway,
They look like wrestlers. Yeah, all look like
yeah,
Brock Lesnar
but yeah, they
bodies.
do look all like wrestlers. So yeah, um, that would be great. Um, Man, so there's been a lot of horror movies that have been translated to games lately. Are there any
Mhm.
that you still were wanting to see that you haven't seen yet?
As far as like horror movie
Yeah, because I they've got that Saw game.
characters,
You've
or
played that, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
I played
I know.
Saw.
Yeah, I know you love
And
Saw.
I know, Dead by Daylight has kind of taken the reins as the horror movie game,
Yeah.
and they're
Well,
just,
they
they put in every character, you know what I mean?
yeah.
You don't necessarily, play through the storyline. but you can play as all these different killers, Freddy, Jason,
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, no, Jason's not in it, but there is a skin for the
No,
Trapper where you're wearing like hockey gear, and it's kind
right.
of tongue in cheek funny.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, the ones they can't get the licenses for, they make a Walmart
Well,
version or
and
whatever.
that's a thing. Yeah, and I've always thought that the Trapper, because I've been playing since like the pre-launch beta, so I've been playing Dead by Daylight for a very long time.
Yeah.
Um, and I've always thought that the Trapper was knockoff Jason, but they've got the new Jason verse. So
Okay.
even though like the T's weren't crossed and the I's weren't dotted yet, Jason's appearance in Multiverses RIP was officially the start of what's known as the Jason verse through this whole new. There's not a lot of limits and statutations on it, but it's a whole just new the new Jason, the way that Jason Voorhees as a character is being branded. There was the
Right.
lawsuit between Victor Miller and Sean Cunningham, but either way, it was split. So, like, Friday the 13th is one thing, and Jason Voorhees is another thing. So, there's going to be like a prequel series called Camp Crystal Lake, has nothing to do with Friday the 13th in the name. That's going to be about little Jason, stuff
Right.
like that.
Well,
Um,
something that I would
it's what
like to
killed the
see
Jason game. Yeah.
that hasn't been is I don't think it's been done yet. Like
Hmm.
in maybe even in Dead by Daylight,
Okay.
um,
Yeah.
just bringing a different character into the scene.
Hmm.
But I'd like to see, you know, Pennywise potentially get a video
Okay.
game adaptation or put into Dead by
Well,
Daylight or
yeah.
um but yeah, I mean just to be able to play as him and get
I
more.
think that's great because Pennywise is a character that already transcends like most people. Well, I'll be honest, a lot of people don't read books like people say they read books.
Yeah, yeah.
So Pennywise is mostly known through the movies and the TV
The books.
miniseries.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah,
you know,
for sure.
so most people there's a lot of people to be like, oh yeah, it's Stephen King, totally, and then they not actually read the book, but they've seen the Tim Curry miniseries and the
Yeah.
most recent movies, the two-part movies.
Well, yeah, and
um
I mentioned that because there is a new series getting ready to come out
yes,
here soon.
exactly, I was getting ready to lead into that. So
Yeah.
it's kind of one of those things where Pennywise is kind of more known for being like a visual guy
Hmm.
nowadays as opposed to being a book character. It,
Right.
there's this meme, and I know you're listening to an audio podcast right now, so there's no way that I can show you this meme, but so I'll try to describe it the best I can. But it says like Frodo in the movies, and then it's a picture of Elijah Wood as Frodo, and then it says Frodo in the books, and it fucking literally just says Frodo Baggins in
Nice.
like Times New Roman text. I love it. Um,
Oh yeah.
you know, so it's like Pennywise is definitely more of a visual character now.
Oh yeah. The big smile,
He's
the red balloon,
yeah, the way he
hanging out in the
looks,
sewer.
yes, is definitely more popular than Pennywise, the print book character. And I think that that is a perfect way to expand on that even more. And Dead by Daylight would be the game. Um, I was kind of trying to lead more towards the like individual games, but definitely Dead by Daylight would be the way to do Pennywise.
Yeah.
Um, and that
Yeah,
wouldn't like
because it is, yeah, it's kind of a
Mhm.
weird story to like adapt to an entire video game.
Right, because there's a
Unless you're
lot more
just
going on.
recreating the movie, but it's like
You're
you don't want to
right.
just recreate the movie too much because then
Yes.
it's like then we already seen
It's
this.
it's steady ground. So Dead by Daylight is the perfect way to do that. I do agree. Because like I really like the Killer Clowns from Outer Space game, but I haven't played that in a long time. It went for a couple months, and then it got to the
Hmm.
point where the interneted it, and I will just leave it at that. I'm not going to point
Right.
fingers, but I am at you PC players. But a lot of people just made that game.
A lot of
They
cheaters.
just figured out, yeah, they figured out a real quick way to just eliminate the challenge mode from it and just make it so you could just waltz through real quick. And
Yeah, they
as
find
soon
all
as, oh
the
yeah,
little
it's
little holes in the system
yep,
and exploit it
just
in
real
their
quick.
favor.
So, and I mean, the same thing really happened to Friday the 13th before they shut it down too.
Yeah.
I I had a PS4 hard drive that fried, and I lost some really great game footage because I was, planning on putting
Yeah.
best of montage together when the game
Oh
ended, and I
man.
lost all of it. But I had this one game where we were all Chad Kensington, and we all just had the baseball bat perk, and there was just a circle jerk of people around and waiting for Jason to get up, and then the next person would hit him, and we would just all start dance emoting until
That
Jason would start to
happened to
get up
me.
again.
Not with a dance emote, but there was like a group I just kept getting bashed. Like that happened to me
Oh
as
yeah,
Jason
dude.
one time.
I'm not gonna lie, I was probably one of those guys because we didn't know each other when that game was out. So
Right.
I most definitely probably did that to you. I played
It's
as Chad a
hilarious.
lot, especially when the Cobra Kai skin came out. Um, I
That's
don't know, that game
hilarious.
meant a lot to me. And there was a lot of
Yeah,
rumors that that game
I
was
loved
coming
it
back.
too.
Oh yeah, well there was a lot of rumors that game was coming back, and then that had to be squashed with like, no, with this new Jason verse, we're possibly going to make a new game. He could be coming out in other games. They were heavily hinting at him coming to Dead by Daylight, so let's wait to see on that. Um, and
Hell yeah.
before we move on from Dead by Daylight, I really wish that they would fucking change Freddy Krueger. Like it,
In what way?
it's
Appearance
it's
or his
it's
moves
yes,
or
dude. Just appearance. This whole time, it's been fucking nutsack Freddy. It's been like I want to say no offense to Jackie Earl Healy, but all offense to Jackie Earl Healy. Like you did great as Rorschach, but fuck you for what you did to Freddy. Like not to be too
Nutsack
upset about
Freddy.
something, but like they don't even have to make him look like Robert England. They could
Right.
go with more like a cartoon version and just make it generically look like Freddy, but like, goddamn, Nutsack Freddy, really? That's what they licensed? Fuck. Um, man, I mean, I love all the rest of it, dude. Their thing with Ghostface, where they licensed it from Fun World as opposed to Miramax for the movie, and it's the costume from Fun World. That was genius. They technically made it half their own IP at that point
Right.
because the guy in the mask isn't any killer from the movie.
What if
He's their own
hey,
character. Huh?
what have you seen Smile or Smile 2?
I saw the first one.
Okay.
Um,
What if they put like the smile month, the the weird like spirit that
the
it is?
Smile Demon in Dead by Daylight.
Yeah. That would
How would
you know
that
what I
work
mean?
though?
You would, if you like saw its face for too long, kind of like Enderman or something, I mean, like you would
Oh,
take
like the
negative
screen would
perks.
get hazy. Okay,
You would take
okay.
negative perks, and the longer you had this smile, and the longer you had the smile,
Mm,
it takes you maybe out of like, okay, you lost one hanging level or something, or you're bleeding out, or yeah, as it progresses and goes further, the more and more happens to you. But I think
yeah, kind of like how they did with the Ring and
but
Samara
then
and the
but then
TVs
but
and
then you have
everything.
to like you have to pass it to someone else, right? So you
Yeah.
have to like pass it to a teammate somehow. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That would add a new
I
twist.
think you
Like
got something started that with that. Yeah.
you would have to like, hey
Hmm.
man, like you don't know that I'm infected, but come fake heal me and I pass
Hmm.
the smile to you or something. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I think,
Well, I
yeah,
think you're onto something.
yeah,
Um, so one that I would like to see in Dead by Daylight, I've got two choices that I would like to see in Dead by Daylight, and then we'll move on.
right, right.
You've got Old Man Ash
Hmm.
from the Evil Dead series. Now, a villain that pops up in the movies and the series is um, Henrietta Nobi, played by Sam Raimi's brother Ted Raimi in latex suit. That is a character screaming to be a Dead by Daylight monster.
Right.
It's you can have one of the you can do like a thing where like you've got the one attack and kind of like with the nemesis where
Hmm.
the one attack doesn't do attack damage, it just kind of like does like a stun thing. Well, you could have it where like
Infect
the
you.
head, yeah, like a head transform, and you could change to like a telescopic head attack and kind of get some long range, but it does it differently. I don't know. I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of cool things. But another character that I would like to see would be the Nosferatu Dracula. Like,
Yeah.
yes, Count
How did I?
Orlok.
Yes,
Yes.
man. That's so good.
Like it could be classic Orlok, or they could
Creeping
do
in the
the
shadows,
new movie. Yes,
almost
I
like
think that would be great.
what's the one that goes invisible? The not the witch, but
The Wraith.
the wraith. Yeah,
Hmm.
something like that, like where you just
Yeah.
can like blend into the shadows unseen and
Yes.
then emerge and
Yes.
Yeah, that would be dope.
That would be absolutely dope. But yeah, I think that horror is a genre that's great to explore, but honestly, just license the characters to Dead by Daylight. There can be some great horror games, but if you're trying to make it from something, just fucking do Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these story-based horror games just I was watching a video earlier and I won't give props to who it was because it's one of the bigger channels and they
Right.
have their own listener base, but
They don't need our
talking
help.
about different times that game adaptations ruined storylines for movies. And it's like,
Hmm.
man, those alien games really just fucking contradict everything when you really get
See,
into the story. And it's like, wow, okay,
yeah,
well,
man. So I just, like you've already known, like I just
mm,
watched all the aliens within the
yes,
last year and a half or so. And I've never played any of the games. So I
okay,
don't know, what I mean? Like I don't know how
yeah,
the games
they're
contradict the
fun.
storylines
You just have to
because
turn
I
off your
haven't
brain.
explored that.
Yeah, you just have to turn off your brain and have fun.
Yeah.
That's what I do. Um, no,
Don't
the
try
whole
to
Alien
so
series could be a whole episode for sure.
don't try to pinpoint, you don't break it down like what, well, this doesn't make sense because this happened, and that's what you're telling me. Don't try to break it down.
Don't try to pinpoint it. Just let yourself have fun.
The
Shoot at the
time frame
xenomorphs.
is
Yes.
right. Just have fun playing a game. Yeah.
It doesn't matter that you're machine gunning into xenomorphs on a spaceship because you know that their blood will drip all the way through into the point where it creates an air leak and then everyone will be sucked out and die. It doesn't matter. That's going to happen
Like in
because
the
it's a
first
video
movie.
game.
Right.
Yeah. It doesn't fucking matter. Just little things like that.
Well, it doesn't, yeah,
Um,
it doesn't happen. I
so,
get it.
but the
It's
xenomorph
like,
being in Dead
it's
by
like, how do we make it
Daylight,
playable though?
yeah.
Oh, the
But the,
xenomorph. Yeah, I just bought
and
it,
de-
man. And
exactly,
um,
fucking sick. Zero complaints about that.
so
So,
my main before that was
mm,
Nemesis,
yeah,
and he's got like the whip crack kind of
yeah,
tail that poisons him,
yeah,
and Xenomorph kind of has a very similar attack with the tail whip. So I was
yeah,
like,
dude.
I found a transition to Xenomorph very easily
Mm.
as having
Oh yeah,
a Nemesis
very fun.
main before that.
Yeah, very fun.
I love it.
Um, oh
With
yeah,
the tunnels too, though. The
yeah.
tunnels. Whew.
Whew.
You can just fucking you mark a tunnel and you can see footprints, depending on the perks you pick. You're tunneling across the map
It's
in
great.
seconds. Yeah, I
It's
love it.
great. I'm sad that we didn't get to find the time to play 2 versus 8 together on a stream because
Is it over?
it is over. It is over as of a couple days ago.
They'll bring it
Oh,
back, I'm
it'll come
sure.
back and we'll fuck it up for sure
Next
because
year
that's
or
it's
whatever.
what brought me back to the game was it
Yeah.
finally let me and my buddy play again. But what I wanted to talk about because
Hmm.
we're recording we're about 45 minutes in, give or take. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't start paying attention to what time. I just know that my brother texted me like 20 times right when you hit record. So I just went to when he first texted me. But we're really excited about this King of the Hill reboot.
Oh
Is what we're
yes,
texting about.
dude.
We can talk about that after we record for
I
sure.
knew that was in the
Um,
works for a while.
yeah,
So but now we
it's
actually
gonna
get
be
to
good.
see a little footage, a
Yeah,
little
I got a
more
couple things I'll
like
send you when we're done recording for sure.
yes, for sure.
Um, but there's this. So at work, um, I work in the furniture business. I'm in charge of a huge warehouse. So this warehouse is all concrete and steel, and it's kind of like a big Faraday cage. So I've started listening to audiobooks while I work. And I found this series on Audible because I can just, straight up download it. And I know there's other services. That's just the one that I have right now. And I'm not giving them a plug or anything, so don't be acting like this is a commercial. Um, but it's the series is called and I know I should have pulled it up already, but it's really good, and I want to make sure that I get the exact name because what drew me to it was the fact that it's like, wait a minute, that mouthful is the name of the series. And
Right.
I was doing a preview. I swear. Okay. Where are you? Audiobooks.
Are you?
Oh, and it should be like right here.
There's
Oh, now
yeah.
I'm getting upset.
Well, you know.
Finished. Here I go. Okay. All I got is the stat menu, is the name of the series.
Okay.
Um, title details. There I go. So it looks like there's four of them, and the fourth one just came out on Audible, so I got to get it because I'm onto it. But the title of the first book is Homicidal Aliens Are Invading, and all I got is the stat menu. Book two, Planetary Destruction is Imminent. Book three, Tyrannical Supervillains Are Scheming, and book four is Ruthless Space Pirates Are Marauding, and all I got is the stat menu.
And my
So,
stats are low.
well, so basically, what it is to sum up what happens is this one set of aliens basically sends out what's called the codex, and it goes into people, and they all of a sudden just become a living stat sheet with an AI that kind of helps them through and everything. And basically you become like a D&D character, if you will, and you can buy um items as well, as far or like different abilities and items that give you abilities and shit like that. And basically what it is like these aliens are as old as existence, and they've been going around the multiverse and finding different things and adding them to this living library.
Yeah.
So they use this to combat a group of aliens called the necrophages, and basically their whole thing is they just want to fucking destroy everything. Like, they love death, and causing death is fucking awesome. Like, whoa, awesome. So they're really hyped about that shit. Um, but the thing is that
Right.
the only necrophages that you actually see during the book are just these fucking like deformed, crazy, lumpy monsters, and they keep being like thief, thief. So who knows what's actually going on the surface? I feel like this is one of those things that by the time we get to the end, there's going to be a whole lot more revealed. But the story of it is really cool because basically this codex package that was supposed to go to a planet to stop it from getting annihilated just went to Earth instead. So that planet got destroyed and all fucked up, and there's zero life on it anymore. So then that makes the necrophages be all like, hey, wait a minute. I want to go to this planet and see what the fuck is going on now. Meanwhile, you've got all these people with like superpowers, if you will, showing up on Earth, and all of their governments are like, hey, we want in on this. And they're like, you can't stop us. We're our own thing. We'll work with you, but you can't tell us what to do.
Right.
And there's all sorts of different levels of conflict because at the same time they're fighting these crazy alien monsters that literally want nothing but the absolute annihilation of everything around them. Um, but when I started reading this book, it was one of those things
Right.
where um, I don't know. Have you ever just like read a book and you immediately see what the character looks like in your head?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So it's kind of like it's one of those things where it starts off as a joke, but they literally, I'm like I said, I'm three books into it, and the fourth one just came out, and I'm getting ready to start it next week. Um,
Hmm.
where the character, the very first thing she does is she takes like 10 stats points and dumps it all into strength. And because it's all into strength, she becomes like this huge barbarian version of herself. And there's just a constant running gag of how much she has to eat just to keep up all the gains and stuff. So
Right.
I know you're not into wrestling, but for everybody who is,
I know
and
enough about it. I mean,
so the lady's name is Jordan Grace.
okay.
Jordan Grace and Sabrina Carpenter look so much alike that they could play like this flip-flop version of this character. So like you would just have to get
Okay.
Sabrina Carpenter for the first like I don't know 10 15 minutes of the movie, and then the
Right.
rest
Just
of
some
it be
face
Jordan Grace,
shots.
and it would be absolutely believable that they were the same person but with like 200 pounds of muscle added. So it's one of those things that like when I first started like reading this audiobook, being read this audiobook, I'm like, oh, that's exactly what this character looks like in my mind. So I've just kind of before you because you were the one that brought up the topic of this
Oh,
episode.
right.
I've been thinking
Yeah.
about this for a long time, how I want to see this as a movie,
Nice.
specifically with Jordan Grace as the main character.
Oh yeah.
But there's a lot more to it too. It's it's pretty fun. I don't know if
Yeah, I
you're into
never
books,
thought
I
of
definitely
like
recommend checking it
who I
out.
would want to play a role. I mean,
Mhm.
obviously, every once in a while, it's like, yeah, that role should go to, But I mean, I'm a little older now, so I don't know a lot of the new actors. So I'm just like, yeah,
Right.
bring Arnold back, and whatever.
I love Arnold. He needs to be in more stuff. He's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He
Or
needs a
do you
son
remember
that's
The Last
more
Action
like him,
Hero? And
though.
he's like, "Ah, yes, I am
Yeah,
the great action hero Arnold Braunschweiger."
yeah,
That shit always
yeah.
makes me laugh.
It was hilarious. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that one was on all the time.
Mm.
I don't know if it was on HBO all the time just because I was living in Florida and they like filmed it in Florida. Some of the
Oh
scenes,
man.
like I was like, what? But it was. I mean, I saw it all the time. It was great. It's a fun movie for sure.
Thinking of other adaptations,
Yeah.
um, when I was in like elementary school, did you ever read the Animorphs books?
I don't. Maybe once or twice or so. I mean, I know what they are.
Oh yeah, because like that was one of those ones that like when reading was fucking cool for a little while in
Right,
the
right.
90s.
They were like,
Goosebumps, Animorphs, those were the books.
if you read 5 books, you'll get a pizza. Like that
Dude, and
was
I
what
got a
this.
lot of
They're
pizzas.
there. Right.
Reading led to my diabetes. Um,
Read a
but
beaties.
diabetes, yes. But no, Animorphs was off the fucking chain.
Yeah.
There were so many books. Like I think the regular series was 53, and there were all these like unnumbered spin-offs that happened too. Um,
Hmm.
but before the series was even like halfway through, they had a Canadian produced YTV Nickelodeon series that just I don't know, man. Back then I felt like it just didn't cut the mustard at all. And I
Right.
rewatched it recently with my youngest son, and I still feel
Definitely
like it
didn't.
just like left everything lacking. And now that the series is over and has been over for a long time, and with the way that, properties have been handled lately, I feel like Animorphs should get like another run at TV
They
for a,
need a different,
YA
yeah.
audience.
Somebody else needs to buy them up or something, or they just need a
Well, they
different
what's crazy
directorial
is
helm.
they've been going back and redoing the books, but they've been updating the cultural references, if you will.
Right.
Um,
Taking out certain words.
oh yeah, like updating. Oh, we went to the store to buy some CDs to
Yeah.
we just listen to music on Apple Music, so it doesn't fucking matter what we went to the store to hang out to do. I don't know.
MP3s.
Um, because I remember seeing somebody on Facebook being really upset because there's a 3-part arc where they find another kid and he gets the power and he's got like a snake named Spawn and he loves Megadeth and they've changed it so he's
Yes.
not even the snake isn't called Spawn anymore and they don't even reference Megadeth. I think it was like some newer band and it's just like
Right.
okay. But if
Going in
somebody's doing that to
reverse.
the books, let's get a TV series going. Let's get an actual, real cool TV series going
Right.
about aliens fighting with Earth trapped in the middle. I don't care if it's Animorphs. I don't care if it's Stat Sheet. Let's
Yeah.
fucking do it.
Make something new and
Yeah.
fun that is like what we grew up watching,
Hmm.
like Power Rangers and Animorphs, like that stuff was fun. It was
Yeah.
creative and it was fun. And it's like now there's like none of that. We just need a little
Uh-uh.
more creativity, and fun.
Yeah.
Just have fun with it. I mean, don't take it too serious.
I just feel like all of the big shows that everybody's up on recently have been adaptations.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
because I'm
They
trying to think of
they
everything
have.
that, like I hear other people talking about. And for the longest time, it's been Game of Thrones. That's a book series.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure. Maybe
Fucking
that's the
Young
next
Sheldon
thing
was
we
a huge
should
series.
we
That's
should talk
technically an
about next
original
is
property, but it's a prequel. It's a prequel
let's
series that already had a lot of lore laid out before it.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe we should do an episode about new IPs, things
maybe.
that are not based on anything at all. Just a
Yeah,
brand new we're gonna have to do some discovering, some research.
we'll call it like let's check out original IPs. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
but We are
Ox.
we're around the hour mark, I believe.
Hmm.
Um, I think this has
Yeah,
been a
yeah.
good conversation. I don't know. You got any last thoughts of things that you would like to see adapted into a movie or game,
Um,
or movie or show, or movie or shows adapted into games?
right now I know they just announced this recently within the last few months, but and I'm excited to see it. The Legend of Zelda is finally getting a movie.
Yes,
Whether
I
that's
forgot about
good
that.
or bad, or I don't know. We're gonna find out.
We're gonna
But
find out
they
together.
they uh,
Yeah.
they announced a date.
Hmm.
As far as I know, it's a live action movie. I
Yeah.
think, if I'm
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll see. I mean, but it is the Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
The name
Exactly. There's a
speaks
lot of
for
people that are
itself.
super passionate about that series, so they
Yeah, you
cannot fuck
you
it up.
can't fuck this up, man.
Yup.
Nintendo
That is a
doesn't let
touchy one to touch, and
Nintendo
good luck
does
to
not
them.
let people touch their stuff
Yeah.
without a golden glove on. So,
Oh yeah.
so, but I'm excited to see what happens there.
Oh yeah. Um, and since to wrap things up, did you watch Secret Level on Amazon?
I did see a few episodes. I haven't watched all of them.
Hmm.
And what I saw, I liked a lot.
Yes. There were a lot of very weird. No, I'm not going to say weird. There were a lot of interesting and questionable choices for some of the games that they picked to adapt.
Yeah,
But I liked every fucking episode.
yeah,
It. Am I going to play any of these games? No, not my game, not my style, anything like that. But they
right.
succeeded in making me care about the story and the characters for just a moment.
Yeah. And a few
There's
of
your
them I
Arnold
have played.
Schwarzenegger again.
Obviously, they're better if you have played them. I
Hmm.
mean, you know the references. But yeah,
Hmm.
Schwarzenegger is in there. So I was already in love at that point.
Oh yeah. I was say I stopped myself because I'm like, wait a minute, did you see that episode?
I was like, that's not really him, is it?
Oh
And I
yeah,
was like, the more I listened, I was like, yeah, that's not a impressionist, or that's the
that
real
was him.
deal.
Oh, that
I
was
was
so
like,
great.
yeah, it was awesome.
And then if you haven't watched the whole thing, I don't think you got to the Mega Man episode because that one's later in there. But
No, I don't think I saw Mega Man, which
that
I
one's
love
it's the
Mega Man.
shortest episode. It's only like 5-6 minutes long.
Well, the
But
Pac-Man one that they did, they actually have a game. It's based off a game, I guess, which was news
what
to me. The Pac-Man one, you know what I mean? Like, there's an actual game that is played like that Pac-Man
like
episode.
that? Because man, I watched that and I said, okay, either whoever wrote this either understands Pac-Man to the level that I could never get with. They understand Pac-Man so fucking much that they're coming up with shit that I didn't understand about it. Or they've never even played Pac-Man, maybe walked by an arcade and said, okay, yeah, I know enough. Because
Yeah.
that was some questionable choices there. You're right. That is the one I don't think about a lot because that one I will call fucking weird to its face. That one I
Yeah.
will call fucking weird.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as I know, they did more, from that, like an actual game based
Okay.
off of that. Or
Okay.
maybe the game
Okay.
came first. I don't know, but there is a Dark Pac-Man game,
Dark Pac-Man. Oh yeah. But
or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, for
I
sure.
like Secret Level. It was fun. It was good. It was a good
It
way to
is.
get a bunch of adaptations at once.
Yes.
So, um, I did not see Until Dawn at the theaters. I missed it. I just had too much life going on.
Yeah. That's one I'll
Waiting for that
catch
to come
on
back around to
demand.
home, but I heard a lot of that was nothing like the fucking game.
Yeah, I
So let's
forgot
see.
about that. One that
Yeah,
kind of slid under the radar for me.
yeah. It was one that a lot of people talked about until it came out, and then I heard nothing, and I'm like, oh god, it's bad.
Right.
It's so bad that people aren't
But
even
I
talking
mean,
shit
it
about
was
it.
such a niche game, kind of like not niche, but like it was a great game. But it's like how many people
Yeah.
actually played that game? It was only
I
on
did.
PlayStation.
I think they gave it out for free on PlayStation. Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
that's okay. So that's 200
Yeah.
million people
Right. Yeah. You know.
out of the whole. You know what I mean? But
I don't know. It's
and
it's
it's
it's a
good,
genre that a lot of
and it's
people like.
good,
You know,
but yeah, the trailers just went on the radar. Maybe they didn't put enough on the marketing budget because I saw the trailer in theaters, but I don't think I ever saw it again.
yeah, no, I definitely meant to see it. And I just
And yeah, it just went on the radar. I was
went
like, man,
past.
I
Yeah.
wanted to see it
Mhm.
because I love that game and
Oh yeah. So
love
hopefully that
adaptations.
doesn't disappoint me. But I'm trying to the Marvel Universe movies taught me to be a lot more lenient with my adaptation expectations. So if it at least tells a good story, I don't know. Try not to be too upset, but also don't fucking waste my time with some other bullshit.
Right.
But that being said, I call this meeting of the Midnight Society adjourned. I don't know if I'm allowed to even say that legally, but that's on the end of this episode. Bryce,
I'll
thank
accept.
you for joining me this weekend, and thank you for the topic idea as well. So
Yeah.
it was fun to talk about, but we will catch you next week. And like I already talked about several times, Andrew and I are talking about Doctor Who this finale. Was it a season finale? Was it a series finale? We're going to talk about it. So see you next week on the next level. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We're all over the place. We got all sorts of things going. Check out our YouTube. Check out our Twitch. I'm going to be more active on Twitch. Bryce, you've talked about wanting to be more active on Twitch too. So we'll be there. We'll be
Mhm.
around. We're in places. But
We had a
anyway,
good turnout the other night.
yeah, good, good. But anyway, we will see you next time. Peace.
Adios.